Session 17 and 18. This session is about the poem Mirror by Sylvia Plath. It gives an introduction to the poet and also an explanation on the poem. Learning objectives. Students learn about Sylvia Plath's exploration of a woman and a creative writer. Students learn about confessional poetry. Session outcome. Students learn about Sylvia Plath's exploration of the life of a woman and a creative writer. Introduction to the poet Sylvia Plath. Sylvia Plath was an American poet, novelist, and short story writer. She was one of the most dynamic and admired poets of 20th century. She met and married her fellow poet Ted Hughes at Cambridge University in England in 1956. The major themes in her poems are death, destruction, mental violence, and disillusionment. She was a writer who found liberation through words and dispelled dominance. Most of her writing is autobiographical in nature. She was diagnosed with clinical depression and committed suicide at the age of 30. Plath published two of her major works during her lifetime, The Bell Jar, a semi-autobiographical novel, and a poetry volume titled The Colossus. Another collection of her poems, entitled Ariel, was brought out posthumously. Mirror by Sylvia Plath. I am silver and exact. I have no preconceptions. Whatever I see, I swallow immediately, just as it is, unmisted by love or dislike. I am not cruel, only truthful. The eye of a little god, four-cornered. Most of the time, I meditate on the opposite wall. It is pink with speckles. I have looked at it so long, I think it is a part of my heart. But it flickers. Faces in darkness separate us over and over. Now I'm a lake. A woman bends over me, searching my reaches for what she really is. Then she turns to those liars, the candles or the moon. I see her back and reflect it faithfully. She rewards me with tears and an agitation of hands. I am important to her. She comes and goes. Each morning it is her face that replaces the darkness. In me she has drowned a young girl, and in me an old woman rises toward her day after day like a terrible fish. The poem Mirror was written in 1961. It was published 10 years later posthumously in Plath's book Crossing the Water. The poem is written in free verse separated by two stanzas, each consisting of 9 lines. The poem explores the themes of loneliness, depression, self-perception, body image, and aging. Mirror is a personification poem. The poet has given the mirror a first-person voice. The mirror speaks to the audience. It is direct, objective, and open. The mirror is mounted on the wall. It describes its existence and its owner, a woman who grows old as the mirror watches. The mirror is the narrator or the speaker in the poem. I am silver and exact. The mirror says that it is silver in color and it is exact. Exact here means accurate. It shows things as they are. I have no preconceptions. Preconceptions means prejudged notions. It does not have prejudged notions about anybody or anything. It just gives a clear reflection of things as they are. Whatever I see, I swallow immediately. Now, swallow here means absorb. Whatever comes in front of the mirror absorbs it and gives a factual representation of whatever it is or of whatever a person is. Just as it is unmisted by love or dislike. Here, unmisted means clear or unaffected. The mirror is not affected by love or dislike towards anybody or anything. It is unbiased, and whatever it sees, it gives out a factual and truthful reflection. I'm not cruel. The mirror says that it is not cruel, only truthful. The mirror shows only whatever is truthful in front of it. It does not show any kind of partiality towards anybody, and it does not have any prejudgmental notions about anyone or anybody. Now, the mirror compares itself to the eye of God, the eye of a little God, four cornered. It says that it is like the eye of a little God, just like God is fair, just like God is the same towards everybody. The mirror says that it is like the eye of a little God. It is unbiased, it is fair towards everybody, and it can see in all the four directions. Most of the time, I meditate on the opposite wall. Now, the mirror says that most of the time, all the thing that it can see is the opposite wall, and it is pink. Now, here there is a feminine attribution for this color. Pink is associated with feminine attribution. The wall is pink in color with speckles. Speckles means spots. So the mirror does not mask anything. It shows the flaws of the things that it sees as it is. There are spots on the wall, on the pink wall, and the mirror can see it clearly, and it reflects it as it is. I have looked at it so long. I think it is a part of my heart. So there is so much of proximity between the mirror and the wall, and the wall has been looking at the mirror for such a long time that the wall has become a part of the mirror. The mirror says that the wall is almost like its heart, but it flickers. Flickers here means disturbed, but it is disturbed at times. Faces and darkness separate us over and over. So when people come and stand in front of the mirror, the wall cannot be seen. So the image of the wall is disturbed. And the mirror reflects the face of the person who is standing in front of it. And also during the time of darkness, the mirror will not be able to reflect the image of the wall which is there in front of it. So it is only the faces and darkness which separates both the mirror and the wall again and again. So in the first stanza of the poem, the mirror tells us about its nature, about its truthful quality, and how it has no prejudged notions about anybody, and it shows things as they are in a factual manner. In the second stanza, there is a transition. The mirror takes on a liquid form. It becomes a lake. It says, "Now I am a lake. A woman bends over me." The mirror has become a lake now. The lake is still, and when the water is still, the reflection of whatever bends over the water can be seen. So a woman bends over me, searching my reaches for what she really is. So a woman is bending over the lake, and she wants to find her real self in the lake. She wants to know about her real self in the lake. Then she turns to those liars. So the mirror is calling the candles and the moon as liars, because they are soft and dim in their light, and they won't be able to give a proper picture or a factual picture, and they can mask a lot of flaws. So the mirror calls both the candles and moon as liars. I see her back and reflect it faithfully. So the woman can see all the flaws, in her face or in her body exactly as it is, and it reflects it faithfully as it is. It does not mask anything, or it does not give uh, any different uh, picture than what really is. She rewards me with tears and an agitation of hands. Agitation of hands means the disturbance which is happening in the woman. She is disturbed, she's frustrated, she does not like what she sees in the mirror, and she cries. So, this is the reward. The mirror feels that this is the reward that she is giving me for giving her a factual representation. She does not like what she sees. There is a disturbance in her. She does not like it that she's aging. She does not like the changes which are there, which are happening in her body, in her face. She feels that she is becoming ugly day by day. She's aging. She has lost her charm, which was there in her youth. I am important to her, she comes and goes. The mirror knows the importance of its existence for the woman. She comes and goes. She usually comes and stands in front of the mirror. She assesses herself, she looks at herself, and she goes. Each morning, it is her face that replaces the darkness. So, after the darkness of the night, first thing in the morning, it is the face of the woman, who comes and stands in front of the mirror. In me, she has drowned a young girl. So the mirror has seen the passing away of the youth of this girl. The mirror has seen this girl from a long time. The mirror has seen the girl aging or becoming older. Drowned here means the non existence of the youth which was there, and now it is not there. The woman is aging now. As a young girl, she looked different. And in me, an old woman rises toward her day after day. So, as days pass by, the woman is going to grow older, and one day she's going to become ugly. She's going to all her the skin on her face is going to will be wrinkled, and she won't be the way she was in her youth, or the way she is now when she's standing in front of the mirror. She's going to change. So the mirror says one day she's going to become ugly like a terrible fish. Terrible means extremely bad. She's going to become ugly. She's going to lose her physical charm, strength, and everything. So this is how the poem ends. The poem is all about appearances and the search for self. The poem highlights the issue of set image, which is predominant in some women, and the turmoil which is caused as the aging process picks up pace. The poem contains autobiographical elements and has merits beyond just being a confessional poem. It is a compelling work of art and a remarkable piece of literature.